So what is poppin', everyone? You already saw the video, so let's get on into this. So everyone falls short to loving themselves at some point of their journey. Now this video might be a bit more spiritual, not religious, but spiritual. So if you like that, cool. If you don't, just know it's not for you, and that I'm not saying just because I said it doesn't mean I think you have to believe it to get self-love. It's just what helps me. So there's a lot of components to self-love. There's reassuring yourself, comforting yourself, accepting yourself to the fullest, accepting your truly authentic self, your gaseous self, your boringest self, your lamest self, accepting your non-flattering self, just all of that, your ugly sides where you have a lot of spit in your mouth, or you sneeze and it sounds like a machine gun went off, or when you just have to fart really bad and it smells terrible. You have to accept all aspects of yourself, because you might know some people, like I know myself, I am able to give people so much more grace than I have for myself. I don't judge people as harshly as I judge myself, which is crazy, guys. Anyways, so something that is really good is to give yourself positive affirmations multiple times throughout the day. Some positive affirmations that I like are: eventually everything will be okay, for nothing lasts at high intensity forever. That includes the negatives and the positives. The next one would be: your dreams are attainable. Your best is always good enough. You are stronger than you will ever know. You are worthy. You deserve great things in life. You are a good enough person. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be a human. As a little side tangent from the affirmations, I feel like with the discussion of mental health, we allow for certain emotions and certain mindsets, but not all of them, and that's totally normal. But recently I've been doing a lot of work where I'm trying to empower myself. That's another affirmation. You deserve to feel empowered. You deserve to be empowered. Lately I've been really trying to empower myself despite some mistakes I've made, whether that be towards myself or towards somebody else, but there have been lots of negative consequences to my behavior, as everyone has. We can simply only try to do our best every day, and sometimes that best isn't what we wanted. But I do definitely feel like if you radically accept reality, then everything that happens isn't necessarily for a reason, in my opinion, but everything that happens is human nature. That's a fact. Like, if a human was able to do that, that's human nature. And so recently I've been trying to just simply accept human nature for what it is, and recognize that yes, we can try our best to change things that have happened in the past past and that are happening in the present. But just like ourselves, it's never going to be perfect because we're always going to be human. We can make leaps and bounds of progress, but you will never be perfect. You'll never just be 100% pure goodness. There's always going to be some jealousy, some self-doubt, some comparisons, whatever, some loneliness, like whatever the case may be, there's always going to be something, right? But that doesn't mean you can't try your best to be the best version of yourself so you can truly see your fullest potential that you can get on this planet. You know, I think instead of viewing it as, oh, that's a bad person, I think it should be viewed more like, well, they went down a bad path that hurt a lot of people, and I know vengeance and revenge, and especially when you don't get justice, it can really eat you up. But if you don't allow the negative to define you know, self-esteem is like radically accepting yourself in an appreciative way. Even your flaws, you're able to appreciate and love because you know that that's a part of you and you love every aspect of yourself. Now, there might be some things where you're like, yeah, not my finest moment, or I don't really like that quality of me too much. Or we can even do appearance-wise, oh, I don't really like that characteristic of my face. Whatever the case may be, radically accepting reality for what it is radically accepting you for who you are. And when you radically accept yourself for who you are, you're able to radically accept others for who they are a lot easier because you already do that for yourself. So anytime you feel very misunderstood, different, try to look for the similarities despite how difficult that is to do. You know, it's like whenever you start to compare yourself, try your best to wish that person well. Say positive things about that person and yourself. Whenever I do that, I start comparing myself to other people and I feel bad about myself. I will make sure to say one nice thing about them, like 1 to 3 nice things about them, and then 3 things good about myself, so that I know that, and the one good thing is usually like, oh, I'm so happy for them that they got to accomplish fill in the blank thing I was comparing. My belt just dropped, I'm so sorry. Not the one that I'm wearing. I'm not wearing a belt, but I have one on like chair behind, like that I'm sitting on, and it fell. That's okay. Radically accept radically accept life for what it is. The hiccups, you know, my belt falling really wasn't that big of a deal. I could always edit this video. I'm just saying there are solutions. So basically, weigh out your solutions, and if there's nothing you can do, truly try to distract yourself in healthy ways and try to reconstruct your perspective into a healthy mindset shift when things don't go your way. And never feel bad for trying and failing, because you could have not tried at all patience for granted in your life. Like, when you have a lot of patience, it just makes life so much easier. So, patience, it also teaches you, again, self-love, resilience. It teaches you about how you view your self-worth. Do you view your self-worth based off of accomplishments? Based off of completing goals that are not 100% in your control to complete? Are you basing it off your self-worth based off of that? I mean, we should all have goals for ourselves, right? Just a direction in life that we want to go, manifesting whatever you want to do to have your goals, your manifestations, whatever. But it's always good to know what you want in life and where you want to go. It's always good to have that direction, so that when you're not sure what to do, you have some guidance on what to do. You know, it's like trying to change any characteristic of yourself. Or I guess a better example would be changing a maladaptive cope mechanism, an unhealthy cope mechanism. You know, you're gonna need a game plan. You're gonna need a lot of goals, a lot of affirmations, a lot of sitting in silence to really see where your head's at and seeing if you can guide where your head's at into the direction you want to go on, so that when you get like that again, you just have to remind yourself of where you want to get back to, the path you want to get back on. So whenever you're feeling the void at night and you're like, you know what, I wish I was doing drugs and partying to fill the void, or maybe it's I wish I was with somebody 24/7 to fill that void, or maybe it's I want to eat 24/7 to fill that void, or maybe it's I want to work out 24/7 to fill the void. The void you're trying to fill can be filled with self-love. Appreciate yourself. The next, literally write out a list of 50 things that you're appreciative of yourself for doing in the past, in the year so far. If you need to think that, you need a time frame, do something more in the present so that you know that you're still worthy of the love. It's not stuff that you did years ago that makes you worthy of love. It's stuff today, because you've always been worthy of love, but we gotta focus on today so that we can truly accept reality for what it is, and that reality is based on today, not 10 years ago, not 5 years ago. People change every single day, and at the end of the day, we all just want to be happy and at peace and be a good person and try to better society so that less people can suffer. I think, and also just enjoying life. I think asking anyone to do more than that is a little unrealistic. So when you just think about those few things where you're like, yeah, what do you think most people, if you had goals for society, what would you want them to be? And truly, it's not you need to be a good person. It's you need to try your best to be a good person, because that's all we can do. You know, I mean, I don't condone the evilness of the world, but I also think that unity is very important, but it's also important to know who you're unifying safe enough to unify with. Yeah. Let's go back to some affirmations, I suppose, unless I start thinking of other things to preach about. Oh yeah, another way to distract yourself, this usually helps me more in the morning, is to think of all the things you're grateful for. You know, air conditioning, the fact that we can have cool air or hot air to keep our temperature more comfortable for us. Clean water, hot clean water, cold clean water, lukewarm clean water. Enough food. We might be hungry sometimes when we're trying not to snack so much, or we're like, okay, I didn't plan to be hungry later on, so I didn't get any food. Or maybe you're dieting or fasting. Whatever the case, maybe you're at work, you can't eat. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. Girl, I don't even know where I was going with that because I'm low-key kind of hungry, and now I just saying that really distracted me. Oh yeah, thank you for the food. Yeah, thank you for the food that we have. Thank you for the money that we all have and have access to. Thank you for all of our spending power. Thank you for the bank accounts we have and the credit that we have. And if it's not good credit, yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to raise my credit. Obviously, what you're going to be grateful for is going to be unique to you, just like self-love is unique to everyone. But I do wish that more people attempted to explain what self-love was and how to do it, because it's not easy, it's not simple, it's not this one-way road. You know, self-love has to deal with self-respect, which is boundaries, how you enforce them, essentially the BS you tolerate and are willing to tolerate, how much of that. Self-love is that inner critic. How much do you actually listen to that, and how much are you able to fight against that and stand up for yourself in your own head? Kudos to you if you have no inner critic. That helps a lot too. How good are you at taking criticism, aka how sensitive are you? How insecure are you? Well, if you want to be less insecure, you have to be more secure with who you are. You have to be confident in who you are, and that takes a lot of daily steps to constantly feel good with who you are. Sometimes that is accomplishing goals we have for ourselves, but don't let them be like superficial at the beginning. If you're really like in the ground with your self-love, again, appreciate yourself often. And by doing that, if you're constantly giving yourself like, okay, tonight I need to list out 25 things that I'm grateful for myself for doing today, or things I like about myself from today, whatever the case may be, you need to do that often so that you become secure in who you are, secure in loving yourself, secure in defending yourself, because you know who you are. You thank yourself every single day for attributes of who you are. I hope that was good enough English for why do you really care what they think anyway? Because when you view yourself as somebody who gives you unconditional love, nobody else can tell you anything. Because when I'm sad, I reassure myself. I comfort myself. You want to get into that attitude because then it's like, I'm not gonna let you do that. No, you know what I mean? You get defensive for yourself, and that's where we want you to be at. Because that is how self-respect shows up. It's by defending yourself, standing up for yourself. You are not a martyr for the world. You don't need to turn the cheek for everything. You don't need to never pick a battle to keep the peace. No, what you stand up for is how you change society. Remember that. And what you stand up for yourself defines your love for yourself. And like I said, we're not perfect. We have our up days, we have our down days, we have our angelic days, we have our demonic days, we have our we loved ourselves so much today, and then we have we low-key almost hated ourselves today. You know what I'm saying? But what we're going for is mostly good self-esteem on most days. That's the goal, okay? And anybody with low self-esteem knows that is a really good place to strive for, because that's leaps and bounds better than where they're at right now. And if you think, oh well, it's being fake to not be sad, girl, everybody is sad. You're the one who doesn't realize that. That's why you feel like you need to show it. Everybody is sad, but that's not how take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Personally, for me, when I've engaged in that sadness and victim mentality, it makes me feel really weak. And I don't like that. I like thinking that I'm the creator of my reality. I like thinking that I am empowered and I love myself and I respect myself and I stand up for myself. Sometimes on the physical world, but in the spiritual world, I stand up for myself for sure. Because even if I didn't tell a judge what you did, I certainly told insert higher power here. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to skew people. But, I know for a lot of people it's like God or Allah, but it's like, yeah, I might not have told a judge about you, but I told my higher power about you. And my higher power, at the end of the day, that's their responsibility, is to deal with human beings, not mine. I'm not the ultimate judge like that. I'm not even a regular judge, But what I can do is do my best. And sometimes my best is pretty ugly, because I go off on people I'm mad at. I tend to lack boundaries for myself and others. But hey, those aren't the worst characteristics to have. And another reminder is, nobody is better than you. And nobody is worse. I said it. Nobody is worse than you. You can think of the worst person on the planet, and their soul is not worth less than yours. Now, they might have made a lot of bad character choices, taken a lot of bad paths. That is the universe to decide why that happened, and why that was the universe's plan for that individual. Girl, I couldn't tell you what that's for. I couldn't tell you what that's about. I can just focus on myself and my own self-love, because occupy your entire day, every day, with self-love activities. Of course, if you're like able-bodied enough to like do everything I'm thinking of, but yeah, you can truly fill all your day, every day, with self-love, because self-love includes friendship and community as well. Like, to truly love yourself, you have to prioritize community. And just because you might not have that right now does not mean you will never have that. Always hold on to hope, because you never know what the future holds. You truly never know. You could be 1 in a million of something happening. Like, you never know. Or you can just live a very relaxed, peaceful life, and maybe something not super or extraordinary happens, but the fact that you were able to overcome all the obstacles you had, even if you had to overcome them mentally, and you changed perspectives and you were able to be flexible with life and make the best out of it in life. If that's all you can say that you did in your life, then you did a good job. I'm wearing my amethyst crystal rings. I have a raw amethyst ring and then a stoned amethyst ring to promote peace. Sometimes we need that emotional space. If you're really angry, work out. If you're like super energetically stressed, work out. If you're very stressed out and of like I need a drink type of a way, work out, journal, read. Like, you need to like ingrain that into your mind, that when you're stressed or just you can sense that you're being about to be reactive, you need to ground yourself. Either by doing something high energy or the complete opposite, something very low energy, like reading. Because reading really slows you down. Journaling, like writing, really slows you down. Working out, doing push-ups or something really helps slow you down. Go get some sunlight. Go drink some ice water. Go drink some chamomile tea. Like, you need to be doing these things so that your nervous system can learn to calm down in healthy ways. Sorry, that was really, really preachy. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video here because we're at 29 minutes and that's a really long video for me to make. But if you like this video, I could totally do more videos like this. They'll probably be kind of repetitive just because I only know what I know in this very moment. And in this very moment, this video, more or less, mostly less, but you get what I mean, sums up how I view self-love and how to get it right now. So I hope that this was helpful for y'all. AKA, I hope that if my 18-year-old self or my 15-year-old self saw this, I could be helped by it. I'm just kidding, I'm not that selfish. But yeah, I do hope that whoever encounters this video, it can help at least a little bit. Because at the end of the day, I really just want to help people either healthily distract from life or calm that nervous system and also bring hope and empowerment. So